All right. So, like we're saying, our monthly chapter goals, I would love to see at least one local chapter meetup every month. Um, and these can be in a couple different ways. We can either do a national event or a local event, and we'll get into those in a couple slides. But at least one local chapter meetup every month. So we're trying to bring members together, help members meet each other. Right, that's that community aspect where we're trying to grow and make sure people have those connections. For example, Keith is a really great guy from Pennsylvania, and he's really looking for that community aspect. And I get this from a lot of members as well. Like, who's around me? I'd love to meet up. Right, the whole goal of beer drinkers is to bring people together so they do have someone to communicate with, they have a drinking buddy, or just to meet new friends and, have things to do. So that's really the goal of what we're trying to do. I would say for these local meetups, just keep them simple and consistent. If you start doing it every month, the first ones, you might only have a couple people, which is fine. There's no limit on these on the amount of people. Of course, we're shooting for bigger, um, but it's going to take some time to get the ball rolling and have people do this kind of buy-in and really start investing their time into this and feeling comfortable. The big thing is feeling comfortable with new people, especially around drinking and stuff like that. So simple and consistent is huge. We'd love to see a recruitment goal of 5 new members each month. And this is just to keep the chapter going, bringing new people. And I think it is something that is attainable, especially if we have 20 people. A lot of our chapters have 30, 40 plus members now. So we're talking 5 new people. If one member brings in one new friend, right, that's 20%. We're rolling, rocking and rolling. So um, I would love to see some more documentation of each event. So not either, but like an attendance and especially a photo. We want to be able to start showing off these events, posting them on Facebook, Instagram, sharing them in our newsletters. The more people see members coming together, the more real this kind of feels. I still get a lot of questions about like, what do you guys actually do? What does it bring to me? So group photos, people smiling, showing their cards off, having a good time. That's what we really want. So that's the documentation that we're kind of looking for. And
Yeah,
like
quick
I said,
question.
sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. For the documentation, we have a secretary slash recorder. I think one time they were recording via paper. Should I just scan it and send it to you guys for one of the meetings, or should it be where I ask her to type it professionally? And I mean, I guess still, like we hand wrote who showed up and what we talked about. It was I think just her getting in the gist of just recording. Um, yeah, is there a format that you prefer, or?
No, so that's something we're going to get into a little bit later. We're going to set up a Google Drive with a lot of these templates, but even handwritten stuff like that, you just take a photo, send it on over to us. That's more than enough. Whatever's easiest for you guys right now, um, let's just do that. So I personally, like out of all my events, I print out like an attendance sheet pretty much. I got like the name of the event at the top, and then it says member number, name, email. Um, and then signature. I love getting people's signatures. I don't know why I have ever like the flags, right? I want people to sign the flags. I want people to sign that stuff. It just shows that they were there, and it's like a little bit of an exciting thing when you kind of look back. So if you have it on paper, that's more than enough. And then we'll share some of these templates. That way, you guys can just print them out and then just get going. We're trying to set up documentation and have content that is helpful for you guys to make your load easier. That way you don't have to be stressing about, oh, I have to do X, Y, and Z for this event. So any sort of reporting, if you want to handwrite it, that's cool. The next thing, so connect with Tyler. Like I said, I'm trying to take a step back from this a little bit. There's just too much going on. So connect with Tyler at least once a month for reporting ideas and assistance. Of course, I am here. You can approach me. I'm always in the chat, or you can message me directly, and I'm here to help as well. But Tyler's going to do a lot of that organization type of stuff. Is there any other questions on this slide?
No.
Michael has the final word. On to the next one.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we're looking at the main goals here. A lot of this alludes to what Hayden had just mentioned. So, step one, we're going to be scheduling meetups. Step two, you're going to plan the event and talk to me on it. And step three, we'll promote and provide details to members. we do have another slide that kind of goes into this way more in detail, but this is really essentially how simple it's going to be. And like Hayden said, we're going to be scheduling some one-on-ones through the month. It can be once a month, it can be bi-weekly, one time every week, whatever you guys want. I'm here for you guys. So if you guys just want to text me, shoot me a call, shoot me whatever, we can get on there, we can look at some stuff. But these are really the three things that we're looking at right now, especially around event planning.
So this is what I was mentioning earlier. We have national and kind of more local socials. So these type of things, they can be simple. They can include casual meetups, national events. The important thing is that we need a clear timeline, a place, and a reason to show up. So when we give members those things, it's easier for them to, one, plan ahead, and two, to feel like this is a little bit more, they feel like it's more official, right? It's more of a community that has goals, ideas, and they're trying to work towards something. So some of the ideas that Tyler and I came up with, and of course you guys have already done a lot of these. We got some examples of just socials here, local bar meetup, brewery hangout. I know Paul does that a lot. Michael, you do a lot of brewery hangouts, trivia night, cookouts, tailgates, chapter challenges. Chapter challenges are something we could at headquarters, national level, we can kind of help you guys out with. We got charity events, white elephant, beer exchange. These are kind of things I've heard from the community as well. So any sort of social that you guys can kind of think of, you have the freedom and capabilities to do whatever you would really like to do. And of course, Tyler and myself are here to support you with those events and activities. So anytime you need something, just reach out to one of us and we're here to help. Y'all have any questions on this? Comments?
No.
So national meetups, this is a lot of the stuff that I've been organizing and sanctioning at the national level, and this is where we compete for that championship plaque, and also do some sort of sanctioned prizes. So usually it's some sort of like one of one merch and stuff like that. And then of course you get your name on the national plaque. As a chapter, you guys have if one of your members wins the national plaque and gets their name on it, or if the chapter as a whole wins the national plaque, you guys get to host that. So I send that to you. I pay for shipping. I pay to get the names engraved on it. I do all that. And you guys get to host that national plaque until the next competition. And if somebody that is not in a chapter wins that competition, you guys will hold on to the chapter or into the plaque until that person from another chapter has won it. So this is like to build national pride, and this is a good way, I think, to get people involved with some of these events that we're talking about. It's cool to get your name on it. I have my name on it twice, about to be 3 times. So you guys can clap. Thank you. We got spare beers, which is the bowling, turkey leg, football. We got beer pong, big head. We got all these different things. I've threw in fantasy sports here. This might be something that people are interested in. We got the shotgun challenge, which Markel and Ricky and Jacob and a lot of other people have been like really all about on Facebook. So that's really cool to see. And then if you guys have other ideas for events, I would love to hear them. I would love to fill the calendar out and plan these for each month that we can. And the goal is to kind of have one event that everyone can do, no matter if you're in a chapter or you're by yourself. Then we'll rotate to like a virtual one where everyone can do it online, makes it easy. You don't have to do too much. And then there's one that's usually chapter led. So like a beer pong tournament, the turkey leg, Uno tournament, these are a little bit harder to do by yourself. So you need that chapter kind of group. And then these will all be scheduled events on the BDOA website. So I'll put out a calendar. I like when we all can kind of do it on the same day. I understand that that's not possible all the time. But seeing those pictures from everyone at the same time and then having everyone competing on the same day just brings a little bit more excitement. So I will schedule those on the calendar, make sure you guys have access to all of that. And then if you guys have ideas for other events, let us know. Do you guys have any questions, comments on this? Okay.
Hey, I'm just getting my feet wet, so I'm listening to y'all.
Right on. I don't know who's talking right now. I can't see.
That's
So
Steve.
okay, cool, Steve.
Yeah,
Nope.
Yeah.
no, I just said I'm getting my feet wet, so bear with me.
No, you're good, Steve. This is new to pretty much all of us, actually. A lot of this stuff I've been talking to Tyler about, and of course, thinking about it constantly myself. So this is our first time really pushing it out to all of you guys. So it is a lot, um, and we'll definitely come up with strategies and ways that we can support you to make sure that you're as successful as possible.
All right, cool. So we're looking at some of the presidential responsibilities around event planning and other presidential responsibilities going forward. So a lot of this is again stuff that Hayden has just mentioned. So if we're looking at the national event planning, you guys are just going to be following the national level details. Really, all that is checking the BDO website, check that calendar, see what's on the schedule. This month, next month, whatever, and just kind of keep posting about it in your Facebook groups or whatever chat you guys have with your members. So then we're going to coordinate those with me as well. So if you guys are attending it, if you're not attending it, because a lot of those will require either prize money or some kind of trophy or something, which we'll have to provide from a national level. And then we're just going to plan and coordinate the event. So a lot of that is already planned out on the website. So I know Hayden's done a really good job. If you've gone back to like the Uno tournament or the Mario Kart tournament, all the rules and regulations and everything are already laid out on there, either through a document or some kind of QR code that you can scan. So we can take a lot of that and just move on from there. The social events, this is where you guys are going to be a little bit more involved. So this is at, I want to say slide 4 that he talked about, where there's, it could be single bingo, it could be, cookout, white elephant, things like that. So you guys are going to be posting that event, inviting your local members, and you can do this one of two ways. Hayden will do a lot of open to the public events. I know we mainly kept it in West Virginia when I was in charge of that. We kept it mostly membership, or we would use it as a recruiting opportunity. So it really is just depending on kind of what kind of marketing you guys want to do with that. And then encourage members to bring friends. I know we were big on this. If you can have your members bring a drinking buddy, that's a great opportunity to recruit a new member. Because if they see us in action, they see what we're about, they're going to want to get involved. And then just show up and welcome people. If we're welcoming to everybody in the bars or the event spaces that we're in, again, people are going to want to join versus if we're being a little bit off kiltered and kind of like we're better than you, snobbish, that's going to deter people from joining us. And then the documentation and reporting, this is something that Hayden's talking about. So one of the big things, take a group photo. And I know a lot of people, especially in West Virginia, love to take photos. It's like they're very proud of the organization and proud of the group. So that's something we've done very well on, and it's something I encourage you all to do as well. The record attendance, this could be one of many ways. Like Gary alluded to, he's got a secretary that kind of keeps things in track. You can do it on paper. You can do QR codes like sign-in sheets. You could even technically use your group photo as an attendance keeper. So as long as you make sure that everybody's in it, just send me a recap like the day after you guys do your events, and then we can kind of get together, start coordinating that next one. That's picking the next meetup date, and then just keep the chapter moving. So the more, and I found this out too, just from experience, take for Uno example, when we did that tournament, everybody was super pumped, everybody was super excited, and they were coming up to us that day and, hey, when's the next event? What are we doing next? So if we can go ahead and have that in our back mind, and right after, say we finish an event, okay, we've got the QR code for the sign-up sheet, we've got the event details already planned, we can start telling people, okay, well, we've done this week, in 3 weeks we're doing this, and that'll kind of start keeping people, moving in and giving them something to do.
I'd like to add just 2 things. So with that group photo, if you decide to just send a group photo, that is okay. That's great. Just make sure you give Tyler at least the names or the member numbers, because we don't know who is who. And we'd love to be able to represent those people and say, hey, they were here. And Tyler and I are kind of working on this idea of like a wall of fame on the website. So anytime that we can showcase that, let's say member, Michael has gone to every event. So it would be cool to be able to put Michael up there and say Michael attended 13 events this year and hosted all of them, right? Or do something like that. So we'd like to give more member recognition and like member shout outs. So make sure you at least let us know what members are there, member numbers or names. Both would be great. I forgot what the other thing I was going to say. So any questions or comments on this?
Cool. And this one really just kind of goes into depth with kind of what we were looking at with the timeline. So, if we're planning an event, we're going to put 3 weeks out. We're going to create that Facebook event. 2 weeks out, we're posting the Facebook event page. We're inviting people. A week out from it, we're going to check the interest. So if you guys actually make your Facebook event, it'll show how many people are coming, how many are declining, or how many are interested. And those are the people we can start reaching out to and saying, hey, are you going to come? Here's what we're doing, whatever. 2 to 3 days out, send that reminder in your all's Facebook group, post about it. Hey guys, don't forget, we're doing this event on Saturday or whatever. Morning of events are a little bit hectic. So just make sure you're preparing and set up. You're doing your final promotion. I know I would usually do 8 or 9 a.m. I'd get on and be like, hey guys, don't forget today at 3 o'clock, we're doing this event. And then the event, you're just executing it. So you're doing your photos, you're doing your documentation, whether this is a sign-in sheet, your attendance, whatever else it might be. And then, like I said before, day after, that's when you guys can just do a recap with me. We'll go through, we can look at the attendance. I would like for whoever was at the event to be the one to do the recap. So if it was you, cool. We'll let you guys have the recap. It's your vice president. Let them have the recap with me. That way we can hear from the people who were there on the ground. So if there was something that went wrong, I want to hear from them on that. If there's something, we could improve on, again, on that. Now, if both of you guys were there, hey, both of you guys join that call. Let's see what we can do. But the more details we can get from it and the more learning we can do from that, I think the better. So.
Another thing that Tyler and I talked about is if you guys need help kind of setting up all this, I know a lot, like setting up Facebook events, Google Suite, that was all kind of new to me before I got into all this. So Tyler's been able to help me and kind of direct me with a lot of that stuff. So Tyler and I are here to help you with any sort of that back end stuff that you guys might not be familiar with. We can sit down and like walk through it together. We can do another call like this. Whatever it might be, we want to support you. So just let us know if you have any difficulties running some of this back end stuff. I remembered what I wanted to say about the last one. And this ties into Facebook events as well. When we're picking the next meetup date, I will have that calendar on the website. So what I did this year is in December, and I'll have the calendar for 2027 ready in December by the latest. You can just go and set up all the Facebook events in one day, right? That way you at least have them out there, and then people in your group can see them. They'll get posted in the group, people can find them, and they can start saying that they want to join. So if you just sit down and bang them out all in one time, I think that'll be easier for you guys. It takes the workload off. That way you don't have to worry about doing it every month on that 3-week progression. Just get them done with at the beginning. Do you guys have any comments or questions on this slide, or about if you need help with some of the back end stuff? Are there some reporting or Facebook event type of stuff that you guys have struggled with? Was that Steve giggling?
Yeah, no, I'm giggling because hell, I need help with everything.
You need help with that's all good. Like I said, it's new to me, so you're both here to help you. So if you,
well, that's what I told Tyler yesterday. I said I was glad he went through the growing pains so he can help me.
Yeah, Tyler's been here since the beginning, so he's seen all the road bumps and speed bumps along the way, and he's definitely capable of doing all this. I mean, he can speak on it himself, but
oh no, he helped me out a lot yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's something we were all talking about. Like, we're living in the world of technology right now, and I know a lot of things are changing even daily. So that's something, even if yourselves, your vice presidents, your members need help with, that we're going to be setting things up. I don't want you guys to feel embarrassed, like, hey, I don't know how to do this. I'd rather you guys come to us now with questions, and we sit down and take 20, 30 minutes out of the day and go over some stuff, versus, it'd be crunch time and it'd be time for the event, and then you guys are scrambling to be like, oh shit, what am I doing now? So definitely don't hesitate to reach out on that kind of stuff.
That's my whole life. I buy the seat of your pants.
I'm the same way, dude. I have been. but giving yourself a little bit extra time really just like lowers the stress level.
For
Uh,
sure.
I usually, I mean, 3 weeks when I'm planning an event, I usually want at least 2 months. I'm a little bit slower, and it takes me a little bit longer to get things going. Granted, I am doing it on the national level, so I'm putting more content out there, videos and posts and stuff like that. But I would strongly recommend, Michael, just to uh, try to do it a little bit earlier and give yourself enough time. And it's not only for you, but it's for the members. People like to plan out, a few weeks in advance. People are doing stuff, especially during the summer. So if we can get them early before they commit to another activity, then we have a better chance of getting them
Right.
joining us. Have you struggled with anything? I mean, it sounds like you say you like to fly by the seat of your pants. What's usually like the big thing that holds you back from planning your events sooner or getting things going?
For me, just planning the event sooner is just time between work and then, oh shit, I still gotta plan a event. Then, I mean, once I sit down and actually like figure out, hey, where are we gonna go this month? What day works? It's usually pretty easy from there.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a place, find something to do. There's a lot of people in our chapter prefer the breweries, so that's why we do a whole lot of that. And I mean, with the breweries that we go to, I have in my notes. So far, we've done the brewery I work at, Tillian, then Boom Island, Wooden Ship, and then this month, next Sunday, actually, we're going to Steel Toe. So each time we go to a different brewery, we've already talked, and I think I've kind of talked to you and Tyler a bit about it, about how we look at doing a food drive with each of those places and a toy drive. Uh, Kind of do some charity event with them. uh, so far, all three places have been like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. It's something that gets their name out there, gets our name out there. Uh, so, our next meeting, we're actually going to start talking about planning the food drive. I'm going to be emailing back all of uh, the managers from those places, kind of asking what they would like out of it, what they would like to see, what level of participation they're expecting from me, kind of what I'm expecting from them, just to make it go easy for both of us. So in something like that, it's easier to uh, kind of fourth plan something like that, but usually, like I said, once I sit down and just plan it, it usually goes pretty easy and pretty quick.
So to build on that, a couple things. I know coming up with new events and new like activities is it takes a lot. I get overwhelmed with it all the time. So if that's coming up with those ideas or promoting or anything like that that you need help with, reach out to us. We can kind of brainstorm. And of course, we have our group chat with the presidents. So if we get in there and share ideas about, hey, I'm thinking about doing this type of activity. What do you guys think? How can I plan it or make it better? Like utilize all of the group chat as a resource. We got some good people in here, and everyone's got great ideas. So I would say utilize that, and we can definitely all help each other. The second thing is when you're talking about, and this goes for everyone, um, if you guys are reaching out to these businesses or like the rails and ales and stuff like that, you're trying to coordinate things. You guys can also CC either Tyler or myself into those, and then we have those branded emails, right? So I'm Hayden at beerdrinksofamerica.org. It just brings a little bit more weight. People will see that, and then they can kind of say, oh, okay, they are a real bigger organization. That's something you guys can do. I would encourage it. It just gives a little bit more. I don't want to say like prestige, but um, it does give more weight to what's going on. Okay. Tyler, you want to go through this one or?
Yeah, again. So I also just put both of our emails in the chats. So if you guys don't have them, copy those, save those somewhere. So this is just again kind of another timeline of what we're looking for event day procedures and tips. So step one, obviously, make sure you're welcoming people in, even if they're not there for the event. Take Uno for example. I know we had probably 12 people signed up for Uno, and then I think by the end of it, we were close to 40 people just because of all the people walking in saying, "Oh, what's this?" And then we were talking to them, the current members that were already at the bar, get people interacting, kind of goes right back into it. Start taking photos, quick intro, especially if they're not familiar with the organization or if they're a brand new member. Introduce yourself. Hey, I'm the president of this chapter. Here's what our goal is. Let me introduce you to some other members and just kind of start, just make it social. Give your members a small role. So I know this was something we did really well with in West Virginia. It wasn't just, me and Steve at the time doing things. We had many different members running in and taking photos or helping with sign up sheets or helping people get into the organization. I know for Uno, we had like 4 different decks. So we had a couple different people shuffling the decks. We had just people coming up and saying, "Hey, how can I help?" And then just kind of assigning them those small roles. So that just kind of shows that teamwork that you guys are building. To recognize who showed up. So again, first timers, helpers, friends, travelers, recruiters. Make sure you guys are snapping pictures. That'll be something we can talk about in our recap. Something you can do in your posts. So I know, I believe Michael, Gary, you guys both have Instagrams. Those are great things to throw out there. I know in the Facebook group we had, I was always thanking people for showing up, and we do a big compilation of pictures, tagging some different people. Hey, thank you for the help for this or that. Documentation and photos. Again, make sure you're recording the attendance, taking a group photo, etc. Definitely getting those new members who may not have shown up before, signing the flag, and then promote the next event. So we've got the Facebook event or the QR code and information about the upcoming event, whether that be the next national event, the next social event, or both. So just have that information available and have someone who knows it so they can talk to it as well whenever new members are coming up and asking about it.
Questions, comments? And so Steve doesn't raise his hand; he just giggles in the background, and that's how you know he wants to.
Oh no, I'm sitting down in the parking lot of a bar.
he's ready to go recruit. He's ready.
Hey, that's Tyler. I'm old. I'm a day drinker, brother.
Got to start early if you're going to drink all day.
Yeah.
I'm still on
I'm
coffee.
definitely a beer drinker.
That's what I like to hear. So this is kind of what National can provide to you guys. And of course, this is not an exhaustive list. There's more to this. Whenever you need something, just let us know. Calendar for national events, like I said, come December, I'll have 2027 calendar out. Those event templates, and we'll start a Google folder. A lot of us are creating different assets that can be used across the entire nation, all across all of our chapters. So we'll work on organizing that. That way you guys can easily go in there, grab something, and use it on your own page. You use it on your Instagram, whatever it might be, just to make things a little bit easier and faster. And it also kind of helps with branding. That way we're similar in branding all the way across. Chapter challenges, we talked about that. Recap, questions, and tracking. We'll get into that on the next slide. Promotion help. So if you're trying to do some sort of bigger event, we can definitely help with promotion, some marketing there. I can get involved. I can help give ideas, direct you guys. So outreach to bars, breweries, events. Once again, you can reach out directly to us and we can reach out to them, or when you email them, just throw us into as a CC, and then you have our brand there and all that kind of stuff. And then the Hall of Fame board I mentioned earlier, this is a working idea, but I would love to see this on the website where we acknowledge our members that are really involved in doing stuff and that are always coming to the activities, events, trivia, whatever it might be, and then translate that Hall of Fame over to member shoutouts. So I do the member post the 10th of every month, where all the photos I get, I usually pick like the 20 that I like the most, and then I put them up there. Of course, selfies always have more weight, so have your members throwing up selfies with their cards and stuff like that, and I'll get them on that member post. And the goal for those or at the end of the year, I would love to create a calendar where that the cover photo that you see, that first photo you see on Instagram, that's going to be like the big photo on a calendar, and then I'll put the other 19s scattered throughout the calendar. So we'll have like kind of a BDOA calendar recognition type of thing. So the whole thing is we're here to give you guys direction, and then I would like to see you guys execute locally. So questions, comments? The only other thing is that we're here to, we can help teach, train, whatever it might be, work through different stuff with you, these tools. We're also growing and learning. We're about to be 2 years old this month, July 24th. But really, this is like the first big year where we've kind of put things into motion. So a lot of issues and problems are arising, and we're combating those as we go. So anytime you guys have feedback or ways to improve or ideas, just once again, let us know. We're here to support you the best we can.
All right, so here's kind of where we're going into the tracking and accountability. So as we're growing and we're getting more chapters, we're looking to standardize more, just to make it easier on you guys, make it easier on us. This has been something that we've had a lot of conversations about. So essentially, we're going to break each chapter into 3 sections here. Either you're active, green, you need support, yellow, or you're inactive, red. So what we're looking at here, active, obviously, you've posted your meetups, you're sending recaps and photos, you've already got your next date picked, your Facebook events are scheduled. Everything that we've talked about in this meeting today, you guys are following through. Cool, you guys are going to be fine. This needs support. Okay, maybe you guys have missed a monthly meeting. You guys aren't scheduling things. Your invites not being posted. There's just a little bit of something either on the social side or the national side that you guys are missing, and you're needing a little bit of support. And that's where we're going to be like, you'll essentially have like a PIP. So that's where we'll be having conversations and kind of getting you guys on that next line. The inactive, so this is if you're just not showing up to anything. You guys aren't communicating in the chats. You guys are deliberately just removing yourself and your chapter away from the organization, and that's where we're going to make you inactive. If you're inactive, it's a will issue, not a skill issue. So to reach this stage, you are really going to have to make yourself want to be, just dissolved and away from everything. Of course, I'm going to step in anytime you guys are getting into that yellow area. We're going to make sure that you don't hit that red area. But again, we're just doing this more so for you guys and for us to be able to track how we're doing our performance through the chapters, and then just make sure you guys are as successful as you can be.
Any questions about this?
No, I think in West Virginia, we've done a pretty good job of posting everything that we do. I'm at Singo like every week, and we don't do trivia much anymore because it's hard to find places to do that. But I think we post pretty regularly anyway.
Yeah, you guys, constantly putting content out there. I love to see that. I try to share it whenever I can. So you guys are doing fantastic. All of the chapters currently are doing fantastic. This is not so much directed at you guys. It's like Tyler said, we're trying to standardize things. And of course, as we grow, we're going to have new chapters pop up and fall off. So we're just trying to standardize this now and make sure that we can have this tracking and accountability as we move forward and continue to grow. So
Understood.
So this is key takeaways, chapters to do. These are what I want to see you guys doing as we move forward. Just submit your next meetup date to Tyler. Michael, you mentioned you're doing one this Sunday, so It is a little bit short time frame, but still reach out to Tyler, reach out to myself, and let's help you make sure that's a successful one. Set up Facebook event. That's something we talked about already. Adopt and ratify chapter documentation and bylaws. So we do have these bylaws. This is not something I have pushed yet to all of you guys. I know Gary's gone through it, and some other people. I think Steve probably has. So this is something that we definitely want to have, and I will share that link once we're done with this call, or when we're just kind of talking, I'll share that. Please invite all your members in your chapters to post for that 250 poster challenge. I would love to see, we're at like 60 members right now, so we're doing good, but a long way to go to get that 250. if each of our chapters could get at least 10 members from their chapter to do that, that's another 60 to 70 members right there. So I'd love to reach that 250, have everyone's face on that poster. And we're all taking photos anyways. Like Andrew said, you guys in West Virginia are always posting stuff on Facebook. So let's just make sure that we submit that for that poster. Always make sure you leave. This is not so much Michael, this would probably apply to you. So after this weekend, when you're finishing up your meeting, just make sure you already have that next date planned and you can relay that to everyone. Everyone's excited. Everyone's, ready to go. So if you can hit them at that point of excitement, they're more likely to say, okay, yeah, I'll at least join that Facebook event and I'll look forward to that next one.
Right.
Once again, recruit the 5. We're looking to get those 5 new members in July from each chapter. Tell your members, have them. I know Michael's been doing a kind of a competition within his chapter where it says whoever recruits the most members, you'll be the member of the month. There's different ways to get people excited, and that could be the wall of fame and things like that. Please, if you haven't, update your chapter members list. Let's make sure all of those are good to go and finalized. So Andrew and Steve, I would like you guys to coordinate together or work with Tyler. The 3 of you guys can all work together and make sure that now that we have 2 chapters in West Virginia, that we don't have any overlapping names, and we make sure people are represented where they wish to be represented. So I'd like you guys to just kind of work on your sheets and make sure that those member lists are good.
With that, I don't know if I don't think Tyler did, but I don't have any way to see if whenever you recruit a new member, I'm not getting who the members are. Like I have where I can update it, but I'm not getting a notification of like a new member being joined.
That should be in the email that I shared the information with you, I think,
Oh,
last Thursday. So
okay.
when you log into that, it'll anytime a new member joins, it'll pop up in that email, and that's where you can get the name and stuff from.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to get logged into it on my personal email, so that way I'll have the 2 accounts on there. I don't think I've done that yet.
So what I've done is so instead of doing it like through your app, I just did a browser. So I'd have like Gmail open on my browser and just log into it that way, so it's not reading off anything else. And then when I go in there, I check it every morning, and that's just where I pull the numbers from.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, off that too, I kind of I just marked the BDOA email. It's all linked in my regular mail app on my phone, but I've got my personal email, my work email, just the junk email. So I marked everything from BDOA is a VIP. So I don't know if you have an iPhone or an Android, but like every time, I can actually pull it up here. Every time I get an email from BDOA, it's got a star right by it. So I know, like, it stands out as something different than all my other emails. I'm like, oh, that's BDOA. I need to look and see what that's about.
Yeah, like Michael said, BDOA is your most important email. VIP. Mark it. I would say that, Andrew, I don't think I've seen any recent ones from the West Virginia chapter. And the only way you will get those emails is if a person signs up directly through your guys' link. So I know at times people, maybe you guys mention it to them and then they are like, oh yeah, I'm interested. And then they don't sign up right at that moment. They go back later and then go through the normal generic sign up page. And then so you won't get an email when that happens. And in that case, you'll have to go through like the member list and see if there's any other like West Virginia people that have signed up recently. Because you can see their state and you can see their name. So.
Well, and I was kind of going to ask about that too, because I know I've had to reach out to you a few times because I'll see that somebody else joined when I go to check numbers on Facebook. But is there, because it'll say like their first name and the letter of their last initial, but unless they sign up with the link, we don't really get it. So it's hard to, I mean, you guys are always busy, like you're busy doing it. So I feel bad having to reach out every time, like, hey, can you find this member for me and get me connected with them so I can at least talk with them. I don't know if there's a different way for you guys to be able to let us know, like, first and last name so we can find them and reach out to them or something like that. Because I mean, I know you guys are always there to help, but something as seemingly unimportant as just an email is, I'd feel bad taking you guys away from something else just to do that every time. So I don't know if there's a different approach or something like that.
So, I'll hop in here too really quick. What I was doing, I was checking both my emails every day and I was checking the BDOA website every day. So that's usually the first thing I do. I'd get in, I'd obviously text you guys good morning in the group chat, and I'd go right over and start checking my documentation, making sure it was correct. So anybody that signed up on the email, okay, I'm adding to that spreadsheet. Then I'm going through on the BDOA member list where you can see, all the member numbers and stuff on
Yep.
it, and just looking for my state. And if there's somebody that I recognized, okay, I'm going to start adding them over. And then I would check any invites on the Facebook group. So a lot of the times the Facebook group would correlate with those new members that maybe didn't sign up through the link. So you can put two and two together. Like, say if there's like a John Smith that's on there from West Virginia, and then this morning a John Smith requested to join my Facebook group. Okay, obviously they're joining us. They just didn't sign up through the link, and then that's where I'm going to add them as well. So there's a few different avenues you can do. It does take a little bit of time, but I'd usually set out my first 30 minutes of the morning, just kind of go through everything, and then just double check it.
Yeah, and I've been kind of doing that as well. I'll always check on the website, look at all the member numbers, look for my state. Uh, I don't know if they're just not looking through Facebook or people don't have Facebook. Because I even go over to my Instagram for BDOA and I'll check the people asking to join, and there's never any. There's been overlap once where I saw somebody join, just not with the link, and then they requested to join Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's who this person is. But 90% of the time that doesn't happen. So then I'm looking through the BDOA website at the different members that join. Like we just had a person named Otto join, and they haven't requested to join the Instagram or the Facebook. So I reached out to Hayden and I was like, hey, there's this person. This is the member number. Could you get me in contact with them? And that's kind of what I'm trying to like negate, I guess. Just take out the middleman.
I'll comment. So first off, Michael, never feel bad about reaching out to me about this stuff. Please do whenever you need. Right now, I'm doing everything manually. Right, these systems aren't set in place, and I'm still trying to figure them all out. So don't worry about reaching out to me. I'm here to help. So that being said, I usually do memberships once a week. So when you see that story in on Instagram that shows all the new membership cards, I would say right after that day, go check the website and you can go through that list of the most recent, right? And then you can give me an idea. You can then message me at that time and say, hey, I saw this person. Can you help me reach out to them? It is difficult if you're doing it like randomly throughout the week because I am doing other stuff. But
Right.
on that day when I do those membership cards, you see that story, take a look, reach out to me, and then that right then and there, I could probably just quickly send out an email and connect you guys. But don't, like I said, don't feel bad about what you're doing.
Perfect. Which before I forget, I mean, I can reach out to you after the call, but that last email that I had talked with you about, I never actually got an email. You'd sent it out, but I don't know if I wasn't like CC'd on it or something, but I never got an email
Cool.
with
Message me right
that.
after. Yeah, message me after this, and I'll look at it.
Perfect.
Hayden, you're back on mute.
Damn right, I'm on mute. Reach out to Tyler and me by the 17th with any questions. I'll share these slides with you guys right after this. You can flip through them, have a look, and anything that you guys might want to ask or comment on, just reach out to us, and we'll try to just set that week timeline.